Baker feel that I did certainly do that. And I want to share the life, tell you about the life of me, Herschel Clay Baker. My life began on December the 16th, 1941 in Cumberland County. My father's name was Enlivened Clay Baker. My mother's name was Sarah Alexander Baker. My father died in my childhood. My mother died in my boyhood. And at the age of 13 years old, in 1855, I moved to Columbia to live with my mother's brother, Judge Thomas Tyler Alexander, Judge T.T. Alexander. And their home, they had no children, T.T. and his wife, they had no children, so they became my parents. And it was a privilege to live in their home. And I'll tell you later how my life and my Uncle T.T.'s life parallels. When I moved here to Columbia in 1855, at the age of 13, I began school in the male and female high school in Columbia. Then I went on to Center College in Danville, and I graduated Center College in 1862, about the time that the Great War was beginning to grow and divide this nation. I returned to Columbia in 1863 to study law under my uncle, Judge Tyler Alexander. I then began to practice law in Columbia in 1864, and I practiced law in Columbia till 1876. It would be that at the age of 25 years old, in 1867, I married a beautiful Greene County girl. Her name was Dorothy, but we called her Dolly, Dolly Lyle. Her father was a prominent Greene County attorney, Thomas Lyle. And Dolly and I married, and we had a wonderful life, and we had 6 wonderful children, and Sally never married, and you'll learn more about her just in a minute, but the rest married and did extremely well. All was going extremely well for Dolly and I, and Dolly was tragically killed in 1904 in a buggy accident, leaving me 30 years with a broken heart. All of our children did extremely well, and it would be in politics that I served both political parties. I was elected county attorney of Adair County, and then I served as circuit judge of the 29th Judicial District, and I served this region of Kentucky. And then I had a greater desire to follow in my Uncle Tyler's steps. Uncle Tyler had been served in the state legislature as a senator, and I ran and I was elected as a representative of this district here in Kentucky, and I served in that capacity for many years, county attorney and state representative. In business, I helped to found the second founding of the Bank of Columbia. And this time it was a success, and I believe that bank still stands. I was not present that tragic day in 1872 when our bank was robbed and we lost our young cashier, Mr. Thomas Alexander Campbell Martin. But I was notified quickly, and it was a tragic thing. But I did serve as president of the Bank of Columbia for several years. It was in 1864 that I was the president of a corporation that established the Adair County Fair. And we hope that that still continues to this day. In it would be, later I became we started a new newspaper here in Columbia called the Columbia Spectator, and I served as its editor for some time. And then later on in my life, in the Adair County News for many years, I submitted an article on historical facts about Adair County. It was entitled Sketches of Adair County by Judge H.C. Baker. You can still read those in your library today. But now, Dolly and I eventually owned the house that my uncle, Tyler Alexander, lived in. That is the house, I hope it still stands, on Burkesville Street. As you go up, it sits back off to the right before you get to the top of the hill. That was my uncle Tyler Alexander's home, and later it became my home, and then later on it became my grandson's home. I want to speak now about, it would be when I was 92 years old in 1934, that after 92 long years, death claimed me, Judge Baker, and I was brought here. But I want to speak more now about my family that succeeded me long after I was gone. My son, Herschel Tate Baker, right here, married Nettie Barger Baker, and they had this son right here, Herschel Porter. He died as a young boy, but they raised three sons: Tyler Baker, Walter Baker, and James Baker. Now I want to speak about my grandson, Walter Baker. He followed the family tradition as well. He graduated from the Adair County High School with honors, of course, and went to Harvard, and he became a lawyer, and he established a practice in Glasgow, Kentucky in 1963. He was always active in Republican politics, and he served in the Kentucky State Legislature as a representative, and then he served as a state senator. And then for a short time, he even served an unfilled term on the Kentucky Supreme Court. After that, Walter, there was a man elected president whose name was Ronald Reagan. You may have heard of him. And Walter went to Washington with the Defense Department under his administration and stayed there about 2 years and returned to Glasgow. But the influence of the Bakers and the Alexanders in the legal profession and in all aspects of the state of Kentucky have served the people well. And I hope that you have learned more about the life of Judge Herschel Clay Baker. And this evening, as a special guest, Walter Baker's widow from Glasgow, Jane Baker, is among the living. Right there she is. Thank you for attending, Mrs. Baker. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.